Did you know that thousands of investors get major discounts from developers when buying real estate in Dubai? In fact, we've already saved millions for our clients by using 4 proven methods to get better financial terms. So today I'm gonna walk you through these 4 methods, share real-life examples of them, and show you how you could pay thousands of dollars less for your property. Starting with the first method. Getting in early. Not only will it strengthen your negotiation position to get a discount, but it will also allow you to get a better property. Because if you're not early, you're competing with hundreds of buyers storming developers' offices on the sales launch day. And when it happens, it makes no sense for developers to engage in negotiation with you. They're selling anyway. So let me share the typical sales timeline and the point when is the best moment for you. First, developers' representatives share with some trusted brokerages that the project will be launched soon. At this stage, there are no pictures, no amenities list, and no project name. What we normally know is the plot location, approximate prices, and some key features. And in reality, it's almost always enough to judge if it's a good investment opportunity or not. This is the best moment to express interest and begin negotiating. Developers often acknowledge the trust of investors who are willing to pay this early, and you'd also have time to push them on financial terms that are really important to you. The hardest part is getting access to these unannounced projects, and this is where we can help. Right now, one exceptional project is expected on Dubai Islands, one really underpriced one in Dubai South, and a top developer is going to launch a tower in an emerging area 12 minutes from downtown. If this is something that might interest you and you'd like to get in early, drop us a message and we'll be happy to help. But if you didn't come early, the next stage is a marketing launch. The developer's marketing team runs ad campaigns, organizes sales events, sometimes books stadiums to create more hype around the project, and shares brochures with more detailed information. Since this point, with every passing hour, your chances of negotiating anything drop significantly, because investors are submitting UIs non-stop. But what if you aren't early? Does that mean all of your chances of a nice discount are gone? No. We have another few tricks up our sleeves. Number 2. Putting down more money. I know it might sound counterintuitive, but let me explain. Let's say the refundable amount required to express interest in a $1 million townhouse is $50,000 US. The alternative is to pay $200,000 instead, and it will make a huge difference. And the developer representative may say that there is no need to do that, and you'll get no benefits from it, but you still should. When you decide to negotiate something, you'll have more power, because the developer doesn't want to refund the big amount they've already received, because this particular sales rep will have to explain to their manager or sales director that they couldn't close the deal after you prepaid such a big amount. And nobody in this pyramid wants to receive feedback that they're not able to close a hot prospect. Also, let's say you come too late and all the good units are already booked. Putting down a bigger amount might still help you, because there will be cancelled units. There always are. It doesn't mean these are bad. In most cases, people change their minds because of financial issues. When it happens, the cancelled unit is then offered to other potential buyers, and you will get the priority, because you showed the money. This scheme has almost no disadvantages. First, it's exactly how much you'd need to pay as a down payment if you buy the unit, so if you're going for it, you're just paying a few weeks earlier. Second, the expression of interest amount is refundable. You'll receive a refund if you decide not to proceed. The only thing you should keep in mind is that it will take some time until you get your money back. Some developers are faster while others are slower, but normally it takes around a month. And there is also one method that grows your rating in developers' eyes and gives you extra leverage. They tend to offer better terms to buyers who fall into this next category. Investors who repeatedly buy from a particular developer get special treatment. Normally you can get this status fast, but there are exceptions. One of our clients wanted to invest in 3 to 5 studios in different parts of Dubai. His total budget was around $1 million US. We shared this context with one big developer during negotiations, and they made an offer. They had a new project in Business Bay, one more in GDC, and another one planned in Production City. So the sales rep said, "Why don't you buy all 3 or 4 apartments from us? They'll be in different projects and in different locations, so you'll do what you planned, and in exchange, we offer you a discount." So this is the example where the developer encourages loyalty. Buying in different projects normally doesn't qualify as a bulk deal, and in many cases 3 units are not enough, but in this case the developer treated our client as a serial investor. Speaking of bulk deals, this is the way to unlock the largest discounts possible, and here's exactly how it works. Number 4. Bulk deals. It's only for investors with big budgets, but I wish all of our viewers to get into a position where you consider buying in bulk. Let me explain how they work, and then I'll share which discounts you can get in each case. A bulk deal refers to the purchase of at least 5 units. For some developers, $1 million is enough, if you buy 5 studios, for example. But for big government-backed developers like Imar, $5 million is probably the lower end. As bulk investor, you of course get better financial terms. But that's not all. What's maybe even more important, that you get a choice. This might sound weird for those who don't have much experience of investing in Dubai, but in highly demanded projects, most investors either buy a unit they're offered or get nothing. But the bulk buyers are the absolute priority. They go ahead of everyone else and of course book the best units. So the levels to unlock the big discounts with bulk deals are the following. For around $1 million you can get 5 studios. For small and mid-sized developers, this might be enough to consider you almost a bulk investor. You shouldn't expect huge discounts though, maybe up to 5%. Then you could buy a full floor or even multiple floors. At a minimum, that'll require around $3 million if the project is in the affordable segment. The discount size can be drastically different depending on the developer, the project, and the purchase volume. The lower end is 2–3%, and the highest we've seen was almost 30%. And top level of the bulk deals is acquiring an entire building. The budget required ranges from $10–15 million for a very small building to more than $100 million. Not every project can be sold like that to a single buyer, and developers run their checks to make sure everything is clean and the buyer has the necessary funds to pay for the property. Buying in bulk offers significant advantages. First, you get better financial terms, so your profits when you resell will be higher than anyone else's. Or if you need to sell it faster, you can set a lower price and still make big profits. Second, by owning a substantial part of the building, you become a market maker. The price you set for rent or sale becomes the market price. You control the supply, so you can make it artificially limited and constantly raise the prices. Third, if you own a whole building and rent it out short term, you've basically created a hotel business. But residential properties, unlike hotels, don't require you to pay corporate income tax or VAT. Now that we've discussed the methods to strengthen your negotiation position, let's get to the big question: what can it get you? Before we dive into specific parameters you can negotiate, I have to warn you that with some developers, you can't negotiate much or at all. And doing that, if your place in the queue is not secure, will lead to you not getting a good property. You'll just waste your time. Knowing when to push for a better price and when to accept the terms comes from our experience and market knowledge. And if you need our help with that or anything else related to investing in Dubai properties, reach out to us. We're a real estate advisor and brokerage firm that works with affluent and high net worth individuals, and we guide our clients through the entire process of investing in Dubai. First, we create personalized shortlist of options based on your goals and budget. Second, we help you prioritize those options based on data and real market insights. Third, we help you secure the unit and negotiate the best possible terms. And finally, we rent the property out or sell it for you. So if you want to work with my team, scan the QR code, click the link below, or send us a WhatsApp message to schedule your free consultation. And now let me walk you through some parameters my team can help you negotiate. Starting with price. Let me quickly give you some examples to illustrate what you can achieve in different scenarios. Small boutique developer, 1 unit, 2% discount just for asking. Medium-sized reputable developer, 1 unit, 3% discount for paying 10% of the property value before the official launch. Big international developer, 1 unit, 4% discount for paying the full amount up front. One of the most reputable developers in Dubai, 2 units, 5% discounts for 2 big units. Medium-sized international developer, 1 unit, 10% discount for paying the full amount up front. Big private developer, 2 floors, 20% discount for bulk purchasing. But while everyone focuses on price, there are other significant aspects you can negotiate, like the DLD fee, which can substantially reduce your overall investment cost. This is the 4% of the property value paid to the Dubai Land Department, roughly at the same moment when the down payment is made. Not paying a 4% DLD fee is not the same as getting a 4% discount. Let me explain. First, the developer does not reduce the market price. All the real estate transactions in Dubai are tracked and published, and developers are interested in the prices growing. So if they keep the price the same but provide a DLD waiver, no public data will indicate a discount. Second, for you as a buyer, the value of the benefit is different. Let's say you're acquiring a $1 million property. In the first case, you get a 4% discount. After discount, the price becomes $960,000 US. 4% DLD fee is $38,000. So the cost of property acquisition excluding admin fees is $998,000. To purchase this property, you need to pay $192,000 for the 20% down payment and $38,000 for the DLD fee, totaling $230,000 upfront. In the second case, you get a DLD waiver. The total property acquisition cost is $1 million, just $2,000 more than in the first case. However, your upfront payment is only $200,000 for the 20% down payment, because you don't pay the DLD fee. This basically means your initial financial burden is $30,000 lower. Next, let's talk about a payment plan, because developers often do not provide a discount, but are willing to change the payment structure. So what you can do is not just improve the payment split, like 50-50 instead of 60-40. But also adjust the payment dates. Let me show you two real payment plans a client of ours secured during the pre-sale stage of a super hyped waterfront project. This property is a $2 million apartment. The first plan is a standard one for this developer, 70-30. This means 70% of the price and the DLD fee are paid during construction, which is $1,480,000, and the remaining 30%, or $600,000, is paid on handover. The client must have paid at 4 points after the reservation date, tied to different phases of construction. First payment in 60 days, $200,000. Second payment in 120 days, $200,000. Remaining payments, $100,000 each. Now here's what the client secured after some negotiation. The plan was changed from 70-30 to 60-40. This reduced the amount paid during construction to $1,280,000, including the DLD fee. The amount on handover was increased to $800,000. The thing is that changing the structure is not just about making things easier during construction. This big payment on handover can be mortgaged in Dubai. So because of that, the client got additional financial leverage. Additionally, the first two payments were reduced from $200,000 to $100,000 each, and the payment dates were pushed back. The first payment is due 90 days after the reservation instead of 60 days. The second payment is due 150 days after the reservation instead of 120 days, and later payments were adjusted similarly. Also, one small but useful thing you can negotiate is delaying the down payment. If you already made a booking payment, many developers can agree to a 1-month extension. And finally, let's move on to service charges. Despite the fact that their size is usually not really established that early, there is still something you can negotiate. You can get a waiver. In other words, you won't pay service charges for a period of time, such as a year or two. And that's not a small benefit. Let me give you an example. Let's say you bought an 800 square feet apartment in Arjan for $250,000, and you rent it out for $18,500 per year. So your annual yield, if you don't pay service charges, is 7.4%, but the service charges in such properties are approximately $4 per square foot, which is $3,200 for this apartment. This reduces your profit to $15,300, and that means your yield goes down to 6.1%. So obviously, everyone would like to get all these discounts and other financial benefits. But even if you're eligible, developers will not give away all these incentives. So here are some small negotiation tips that may help. First, show that you're serious. And I can't stress enough how crucial this is. Developers have seen tens of thousands of people who are asking for benefits without real intention to buy, so they don't want to waste their time. If you're trying to negotiate financial terms but won't even share your ID when the developer's representative asks, everyone feels you're just window shopping. The same applies to putting down an expression of interest. If you don't pay the few percent, fully refundable payment, they doubt you have the money to pay for the unit. And if you're buying as a legal entity and the developer is asking for a letter of intent, share it. It's not legally binding, and it literally costs you nothing. But if you don't do that, that's a red flag. Another thing you could do is write down the check, but not hand it over. For example, if you want to purchase a property for $3 million instead of $3.2 million, show the $3 million check to the developer sales rep. That shows your offer is real. Of course, for this, you or your trusted representative should come in person. That's the next tip. Meet in person. Zoom is better than chatting on WhatsApp, and in-person meetings are better than Zoom. Based on our experience, the difference in what you can get is huge, and sometimes everything it takes to overcome a hard no is just showing up. Third, don't limit negotiation to just one condition. See the big picture. If nothing can be done with the price, try to get a better payment plan structure. If you can't change that, then push payments to the later stages of the development. Everything I told you is based on our practical experience negotiating the best terms on behalf of our clients. And if you'd like us to do the same for you, drop us a message. And if you want to learn more about Dubai real estate before our first call, check out this video.